This is Good Chat, a conversation where Sunday truth meets our weekday lives.
It's been good talking to you. It's been good talking to you.
That's super tight.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
All right, let's get this.
Speaking of mountains, the wilderness.
Speaking of mountains, yeah. Do mountains count as the wilderness?
Yeah, that's like extreme wilderness.
For sure. I guess just
so.
whenever I picture the wilderness, I guess there's trees. I'm thinking desert.
Yeah,
maybe that's
true.
where I'm getting lost.
I mean, that's a biblical wilderness. So
that's true. That's true.
As a worship pastor, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm just out here trying to climb mountains.
But even in the biblical wilderness, like they have pine trees out there. They got all of that terrain.
It's true.
I learned that through what movie was it? It's the soldiers.
You're like Doug right now.
I am Douging so hard right now. It'll come to me.
The soldiers,
it'll come to me.
Desert. Gladiator.
No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen right now. But I know that there's pine trees out there. Like
have you been to Israel?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we went to Israel, and like a lot of the terrain was desert terrain,
right.
but they do have mountains like around there. They do have like similar terrain to us as well.
On the bucket list.
Yeah.
See,
oh, you haven't gone yet?
I have
okay.
not. I was going to, but just didn't work out.
For sure.
We'll see.
Well, we keep going back, so.
Yeah, counting on it.
Try finding a church that doesn't want to make a trip to Israel.
True. Very true. That'd be cool.
They did 40 years. 40 year, as Dylan put it, a 40-year testing
crazy.
of themselves. That's insane.
That's twice my age, man. Like, what? Yeah. Think about it that way.
I know. It's like,
wild.
Dang, dude, that's wild. And
crazy.
Yeah, the whole like so that the one generation fades and the next generation comes out. Me and Dylan talked about this last time he was here, and just talked about sort of like the passing on of stories and trials and stuff. And we talked about like God's deliverance stories. And this week is like interesting on the like reflecting on just the hard times. And I definitely love to talk about all the times God's pulled me through something, but it's not often that you dwell in the space of like, but here's how much it sucked, bro.
Right. Yeah. Like the reality of it.
Yeah.
Like we read that and it's like a sentence like, oh, they were in the desert for 40 years. You know, it talks about it a little bit like there's what they went through, but it's like 40 years. Like imagine waking up every day through that 40 years of like, dang, another year in the wilderness. Yeah. Another just push through, another just keep going. Like, that's crazy. It's easy to just look through that, like just read over that. But the reality of that.
Right. Well, and it's a grind, like, especially for like food and stuff. So manna was provided for them just enough every single day, which is when we hear that, we're like, that's insane. But then you go 40 years of that and you're
Dylan
like,
said that during the sermon. I'm like, remind me of like, man, that's probably what my dog feels like. Eating the same thing every day.
Right.
But like, how could that be good? But I mean, it's this whole, I could sidetrack on.
Totally.
I wonder what that tasted like. You know, I wonder
me too.
Right?
I'm very curious.
Right? Like, shoot, I like food. Was it good?
I'm sure it tasted just good enough.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. And it's like that like the provision starts, and of course our reaction is crazy. Like this food fell from the sky, is only for you guys, and can only hold on to it for one day. Right. Like it's just enough. But then you go 40 years of the same continual blessing happening over and over again, and you get sick and tired of it. It's like that's so it like forgetting the initial blessing and how incredible that this all is. Yeah. And the forgetting what suffering and places that you've come from. Like we're just so, Phil says it, we're leaky people. Like we just forget things so much. And so it's like, it's wild to ponder on that process and think about that in our own lives. Like I don't have 40 years to think about. Right. I got 35 years to think about, so I'm getting close. But all the times in my life that I forget to like, I've been through some hard places and needed provision in there, and then there was provision by the end of it.
And like, imagine the few that went into the promised land after that. Like, oh, God is good. He provides. It's like a beautiful demonstration of his love and justice. Like he loves them to where he's not going to let them just completely just die out in a way. Like, yes, the generation died out, but he provided for them still. He protected them, but it was still justice. Like they screwed up. And so it's a good portrayal of God's character, which is really interesting.
Yeah. Is there anything in your life that you like, you could continually bring yourself back to, like, this is the thing that I remember to sort of sober myself up to what's real and realistic right now? Like, I am being provided for by God every single day.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. It's, for me, I've done a lot of traveling. I love missions, and that's my heart in a lot of ways. And seeing how God provides so much despite where you're at, for one, in a way, as in Africa, for example, these people in the jungle who have very little, and yet they have God, and they're so full of joy and peace and content. And then in here, it's easy to get just blinded by the comforts we have, like you're saying, and we forget how good he is. And so I just go back to that. I just think of my friends in Africa or Cambodia or Morocco who have nothing, and yet they're so content. And it's like, man, I have so much. How can I not be thankful right now? How can I live in a way that's like, oh, give me more. Why don't I have this? It's like, we're so blessed. And I recommend everyone go visit a third world country at least once in your life. Not if you're not even called to missions, that's all right. Just go see, and then your eyes will be open to truly how great this country is.
Seriously.
It's so I always kind of get grounded back on that reality.
Yeah. It's interesting how much we don't consider that, like, it's the things that just work consistently. Like, the grocery store's always open when you need it. Like, the electricity, I mean, it goes out during a storm, but really it's pretty consistent. Where there's so many people who it's like, it might work for a couple hours today. I don't know.
Dude, when I was in Africa, like, crazy. The government shuts off all the power about 90% of the day. And so then we're taking showers there's a bucket of water and a mug like this, and you just scoop it on yourself. And that's just normal life. And it's like 95 and humid, and
oh my gosh,
like, we got it so good. It's so good.
We can condition our air to be at a nice temperature to be comfortable.
Oh, man.
That's wild.
And it's like, just remembering, man, we got it so good. And that can be hard though, because, like, there is hard. We do go through hard things, whether like deaths of family members or sickness or, losses, different things. Like, we go through hard things too. But there's ultimately no reason why we should be ungrateful and forget how good God is, because just look around. Just stop for a second in the midst of the hard thing and look around. It's so good. We got it so good still.
Oh yeah. I've noticed, well, first off, I love parallels just in real world right now happening. I guess I'm still talking real world when I say this, but consider, like, the comforts of us right now versus the comforts of back then. Like, that's not air conditioning. That's not, they lack a lot of things just technology wise that we have right now, that we have for our comforts. And there was still a level of, like, but here's the comfort level that we've reached, and this is enough. And even in that, they can forget. And so, like, how much more blessed are we with a lot of these things? How much more forgetful are we?
Exactly.
Because of all of that.
And, like, that's the thing, like, blessings, in some ways, if we're not careful, can become a curse. As in, we focus so much on, wow, we're blessed, we have these things, that we completely forget to acknowledge God in it. And that's what the passage was talking about. How it's like, remember this, you'll be blessed, but this happens if you forget. So it's super important. We just got to be very intentional on that, I think, just to be aware. Easy to get distracted.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I keep going back to this because I am a dad. It's such a, like, profound shift in my life. I when you're a kid, you don't ever think about thanking your parents for food that day, unless it was like there's a scarcity in the family, or there's some instability for that, which is, really big. But, like, growing up pretty well off enough to have food, at least, which is a blessing unto itself. You just don't think about, thanks, Dad, for making food. Like, thanks for providing money so that we can all eat today or anything. And continually, like, as a parent, they just keep giving and giving and giving, and they want to see you grow and grow strong. And I think about, like, how God's providence over us is similar to that. And it's like this, he continually gives and gives and gives regardless of us knowing, and knowing that the older that we get and the closer we get to him and the more that he tests us and reveals what's in our heart, then we start to see, like, oh, like you've been giving
Yeah.
way more than I've
Right.
ever ever conceived of to begin with.
Yeah. And something like when it comes to that giving, in a lot of ways, like trials can be a gift from God, depending on how you look at it. Like in James, it talks about have joy in the trials because it produces perseverance and steadfastness. And it's like within the wilderness situations, those circumstances, is remembering, okay, this is a good thing in some ways because I'm growing stronger in my dependence on God. Or it could be a bad thing if you're not doing that.
Right.
And then you just go, woe is me,
Yeah.
and my life sucks in the wilderness.
Right.
Which, I mean,
Yeah. Are the moments for refining you or for being sad that you're not as comfortable as you once were?
yeah.
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 You like to work out.
Yeah.
I know this. we were just talking about
it.
climbing mountains. I don't know if you found this, but in the process of like intentionally putting yourself into a like, I'm working really hard at this sucks, like to some degree. There is a refining point of like, okay, like I'm trusting that I'm going to get this done. I'm going to push myself to get this done.
Yeah.
And for me, it even becomes a very spiritual moment sometimes about like really hard things.
Yeah.
Where it's like, God, you will sustain me and my mind in here because that my mind is weak.
Yeah.
The more that I work out and try and take care of myself and that, the more I realize like how weak my mind actually is.
Yep.
And what he wants to call me towards as well.
Yeah.
Like he wants us to be strong. He wants us to be healthy. He wants all of that for us. Do you feel the same? Do you have
100%.
similar thing?
Like,
Yeah.
A lot of times working out, it freaking sucks.
Yeah.
Especially running. Like, for a while, I hated running, but I'm forcing myself to like it because it's healthy, you know?
Yeah.
But it is not easy. But it's in those moments, like you said, of that just difficulty. It's like, where do you turn to? And like, even on runs, it's like, God help me right now. I want to push through, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
So help me. I went on some hikes and it was like all snowy and we were hiking up a mountain. I took some of my life group students snowshoeing, which is like, thinking back now, I don't know if that's a great idea. Like legally speaking, I could like die, but like, yeah, let's just go.
You could die eating a peanut. It's,
Exactly.
you know.
That's very true. But hey, let's go snowshoeing.
Yeah.
And it's like 10 degrees out.
Yeah.
We're hiking up this mountain. We split off, which was so stupid. Shoot, maybe sorry, we'll continue the story.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah.
They're all alive, just to preface. I'm alive, we're good. But it's like, man, we're hiking up this mountain. It's like, oh, this sucks. Like, I'm worried it could get like an avalanche, could get stuck. Sun is setting, like all these worries pop in your head. I got to get back down to the car. I got to look out for these two students. And it's so easy, just got caught up in the worry of the moments.
Yeah.
And so it's like, God, help me. Like in this, just help me, or else this could be really bad. And it's like in those moments of the wilderness, it's just, God, help me. Sometimes that's the only prayer we have is just, help me, God. And he does. And he is faithful to that. And that could look like a lot of different things, from a helicopter rescue off a mountain, or it could be, which didn't
Absolutely,
happen.
yeah.
Praise the Lord. Or it could be just getting back safely and having
Actually
a great
making it
adventure.
through.
Exactly.
And him providing the whole way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So I can
kind of
relate.
we like to fill in the gaps of what provision would look like often. And rather than being like, he might have a different version of what that could be.
Yeah.
That would be better.
And like we have our own agenda sometimes. It's like, man,
Heck
God,
yeah.
I want you to provide like this. Like,
Yeah.
this would be great. Please, this way. But his way could look completely different. So the whole story of Jesus, right? The Messiah, they wanted to look like a guy who's going to overthrow the government, this and that. And it was a lamb who was led to the slaughter. And so it's like his provision often looks a lot different than what we might anticipate. But it's a lot better.
Yeah.
It's his plan. And so just being obedient to that.
Yeah. I feel like this week for me, taking away and like doing something with it is it's pretty, he says it up front of like remembering your trials, like sober up from remembering where you've come from, what you've gone through, and what God was doing within that time.
Right.
And kind of just utilizing that to, when I'm worried, when I'm stressed out about something, or I want something to work some sort of way, being like, okay, we've been here before. We're not going to do the same loop again of putting it all on me, or, trying to force my way into things, and being like, I've done that and I suffered for it. And God taught me some things through that.
100%.
I'm resting on him. Or even in the times where it wasn't me doing anything, something externally was happening or health stuff or whatever. It's like, I've been delivered once, I'll be delivered again, either still into this life, into a new space, or into the next, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's, I'm trying to, like, I was listening to Pastor Dylan preach and I wrote down a question on my Bible. It's like, what have been those trials?
Yeah.
And just like really thinking through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good thing for everyone to do is like, write it out even just on a piece of paper. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what have been some hard things and how has God delivered me through that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just practical things like that.
And you get to recontextualize it at this point in life too. It's like you have more wisdom around things. You hopefully know God a little bit better than you did before.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
And so it's like there's something new to be learned out of that, because though we learned one lesson out of something, and maybe that's even a substantial lesson, I have a hard time believing that there wasn't more to the details of what God was doing in that time, you know?
That's true.
And so it's like he tests our hearts to show us just how good he is and just how present he is in our lives.
Yeah. And it's cool, like, to look back and connect those dots that you might have missed in that moment of like, wow, he really did a lot more than I realized.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that's how the Israelites eventually look back and like, man, God is he provided this. Like, he's a good father. Like, to be able to look back, it's definitely very important.
And it must be weird being the one who was born in the wilderness and is just living there, you know, compared to like your parents who actually experienced coming out of something and into something.
Right.
Like my parents were, I hope it's okay that I share this. My parents were a little less than well off, especially when they first got married and stuff. And then God provided through there. They were able to raise a family of 3, or I guess of 5. How do you count that? Do you just count the kids and say family of 3, or is it family of 5, like total with adults?
Bro, I ain't married.
Fair enough.
I'm just here.
Well, 3 kids nonetheless, and be able to provide and, you know, have a home there. And it's like, I was born into something and grew up there. And so it's just like, I didn't get to experience all what they've gone through. I've gotten my own stuff out of there, but to remember their stories as well, and then like truly contextualize it the older I get and be like, wow, God has provided before I existed to get me to like here.
Like, if you really think back, like the fact that we're living right now, I'm like,
it's
that
wild.
itself is a huge blessing. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm here, so I'm going to use every moment for God because he's given me everything.
Heck yeah.
Like every blessing.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's like, I look at it this way. It's like, if I'm not living for him, I'm just spitting in the face of the one who's given me the best gift of all time.
Ooh.
It's like he's given me life, eternal life.
Yeah.
And he's blessed me with so much. And for me just to go about my life living for myself is just a diss on the gift giver. And so it's one way to look at it. It's just, man, I just think of Jesus on the cross. Man, he went through that for me to bless me with everything else that I have. And yet I'm just going to just spit in his face with living for myself. So, no, I'm not. I'm going to live for him. And don't throw away that gift.
Yeah,
like,
man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. I'll walk away with that. Absolutely. Dang, that's a heavy one.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's deep, but it's good.
Heck yeah. Well, hey, good chat.
Good chat.
Good Chat is a podcast by Foothills Church located in Cameron Park, California. For more information about our church, visit foothillscp.org. Thanks for listening.